Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis, a reporter here at Forbes. Joining me once again is criminal defense attorney Skye Lazaro. Skye, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Brittany. Always glad to be with you.
In a really stunning middle of the night operation over the weekend, Venezuela's sitting leader Nicolás Maduro, along with his wife, were captured by U.S. forces in a Caracas military compound. He's currently being held in New York City, where he faces drug, narco-terrorism, and weapons charges. First of all, from the perspective of a defense attorney, you wake up to this really shocking news. What's your reaction? What do you make of it?
This is not something that we see very often. I think this is a little bit shocking or out of the norm to see someone who is seemingly a sitting official in a foreign government be detained and removed to the United States. Not that it hasn't happened before, but it is not something that, we see, day by day.
I want to talk about what exactly was laid out in this 25-page superseding indictment that was unsealed shortly after Maduro was in U.S. custody. And it expanded on the 2020 indictment against Maduro, has the same charges against him, but there are new details. So when you're reading this, what stuck out to you?
The United States went through a pretty comprehensive list of what they were relying on as far as facts or their perceived theory of this case in laying out this indictment. They went through, essentially a 2 decade span of time talking about different things that had happened. I think it's somewhat clear from the indictment that there are some potentially cooperating witnesses in this regarding some of the information, some confidential informants, things along those lines. So, I mean, it is very detailed. It's 25 pages. This isn't just a boilerplate. We brought them back and we're charging them. They did go through the process of laying out, the information that they have, at least, in terms of generally, to suffice for a complaint or an indictment in this case.
To that point, in this indictment, there are certain details about certain what seemingly seemed like private conversations, certain meetings, different flights that would lead one to believe, who read it, I read the entire indictment, it made me believe at least, and you obviously as well, that there were some cooperating witnesses here. I mean, how strong is that evidence when someone cooperates?
It can go both ways. It depends on who you have as a cooperating witness. There's always credibility problems when you have cooperating witnesses who have been previously indicted or previously convicted or given a plea deal to testify against someone at trial. That is, that's always going to come up to question their credibility. The other aspect of it is who are these people? Are they going to stay cooperative? Are they going to come back to the United States and testify? I would assume if the United States is relying on them in their indictment that they are, at least pretty confident that that will happen. But really, I think the biggest issues when you start looking at cooperators is who are they? Do we have credibility problems that can be overcome where somebody doesn't just look at it and say, hey, look, you're just throwing your friend under the bus to save yourself.